Foucault, French philosopher, I have introduced him so many times. He says in his book, History of Sexuality, actually, this is the person who provides basis, intellectual basis to those groups who are talking about sexuality. He is one of them, the main pillar of their ideological background. Foucault says in his book, History of Sexuality, that sexuality is not a behavior, it is identity. It is what we are. So, sexual identity is also constructed. You know, sociolinguists say that we construct our identity. When we interact with society, we talk, we use language during our communication in different contexts, and during that talk, our discourses, people know who we are. We are a professional, we are a male, we are a female, we are engineer, we are doctor, we are black, we are white. So, all social identities are socially constructed and constructed through language. You know this. This is the central theme of this whole course. And this is how gender and language are related. Okay. So, if sexual identity is also identity according to Foucault and his followers, so it is also constructed and constructed through discourse. When sexuality is produced through discourse, it is reproduced in other discourses. You know that when people talk about something in their private conversation, and if the people are important, they have power, their talk spreads in other contexts, in other discourses. It becomes topic of everyday discourse. Media talks about it, professors talk about it, newspapers publish articles on it, journals publish articles on it. So, it spreads in other discourses. It is reproduced, it is spread in legal, medical, psychological, and religious discourses. Every one of these fields talk about sexuality. Foucault says a new discourse is, you know, his theory of knowledge and power. He says all knowledge is discourse, and a person who has knowledge has power. Okay. So, Foucault says a new discourse is a new knowledge, and knowledge is power. Discourse of sexuality, this is something new. So, it is new discourse, so new cultural knowledge, and it is also power. It also has power. Knowledge is power. Culture uses this power to police our sexuality, to regulate, to supervise our sexuality. Okay. Sexuality, het or non-het. Het is short for heterosexual relations between two opposite sexes. Non-het, non-heterosexual sexual relations between people of same sex. So, I would be using these short terms, het or non-het, in the coming modules. So, sexuality, whether it is het or non-het, is constructed through discourse, Okay, as we construct our gender identity. So it gets power over culture through discourse. Okay, people talk about it, it becomes topic of all discourses. So when it becomes topic of discourses, gradually it becomes an ideology, it becomes part of convention, custom and social norms, and it gets power. But this power can be questioned through counter discourse. Counter discourse, the competing discourse that challenges it. The theory that challenges the head power or non-head power, that theory is called queer theory. This is introduction of queer theory. The theory that challenges the established norms of sexuality, heterosexuality or non-heterosexuality, that is called queer theory. The power of norms of dominant culture cannot have hold over its subculture. Okay, we have said that when something is reproduced, becomes part of everyday discourse, gradually it becomes powerful because it becomes part of the dominant culture and norm. It means we think that now it gets power, the new idea gets power over the entire culture. And we know that culture is not a uniform thing. We have subcultures within a culture. So an idea or ideology can have hold over some subcultures, but it may not have hold over all subcultures. Each of these groups have their discourses, and discourse is knowledge and knowledge is power. So it means each group has its own power. So these subcultures and their powers indicate cracks in the dominant cultural power. The dominant cultural power is not smooth. There are cracks within this power, and these cracks are because of the power of subculture groups. The main philosophical support of queer theory comes from German philosophers, and because of these cracks, the power of dominant culture is challenged, and this is what we have called queer theory. And what is the source of support of this queer theory? So I am telling you that this support has come from German philosophers and French philosophers such as Foucault, Derrida, and psychoanalyst Lacan, and so many others. Butler and Sedgwick, etc., they are considered pioneers of this theory, queer theory, in United States. So we conclude that all cultures have dominant gender and sexual ideologies. Okay. But the dominant norms may conflict with norms of subcultures. The theory that emphasizes the power of subculture norms, the overall culture has power, then subcultures also have power. So queer theory says that the power of subcultures should also be recognized. The theory that emphasizes the power of subculture norms is called queer theory.